Arts and Events here at Reston Community Center. Welcome to the center stage. At this time, please turn off your phones. There's 4 exits to this room in case you should need them. The 2 from which you entered and the 2 from the other side. There's a survey in your program. We'd love it if you could fill that out before you leave. Some people take the time to write some notes on the back and tell me acts that they'd like to see here on center stage, which I love to research. Sometimes I can bring them here. That's great. Sometimes they tell me sometimes they tell me things that they don't like, which is also great because I want to make things better. So please fill that out. If you're a ticket purchaser, you're probably going to get a survey in your email as well. Either one is fine with us. There's something I was about to tell you. Oh yes, there's no photography or recording devices allowed in this performance. So we are in the middle of our professional touring artist series. It's gone great so far. We have lots more to go. Baratunde Thurston, who is a great comedian who writes for The Onion, was planned to be here in January, and we had to cancel because of the snow. Cancel from one thing or another. But we postponed him to May. He's coming. You haven't missed him yet. Nai Ni Chen Dance Company is coming with a sublime performance of a piece called Quest for Freedom. And it's about the Asian American immigrant experience. And they will be joined by the great trio of musicians called the On Trio. Now, both groups have performed here many times, but it's the first time that they've performed together. So it's going to be a simply gorgeous performance. And unfortunately, Nai Ni Chen passed away very unexpectedly last month. She drowned. She's a very good swimmer, but something happened, and she did not make it. She cannot be with us, but her work lives on. This piece is being done in New York this weekend, and it'll be with us in April. And there's many, many more great things. There's a flyer in the lobby that details all the things that are coming, and I hope to see you at all of them. And I always forget the people down here, so please forgive me. Welcome. Now it's my great pleasure to introduce the next act this evening. I have known and worked with our performer this evening for many years. Many, many years. More years than neither one of us want to admit. But we've worked together and known each other for a long time. This piece was debuted in 2019 and was scheduled to go on a rather international tour in 2020. You know what happened there. And tonight is the first night that she has brought it back to a live audience. She's done it via electronically or pieces of it in the past. But it's a great honor to introduce Anita Hollander.
When it all started out, I was a screaming little 1-year-old.
Spectacular Falls.
Gave up my folks, dove from my crib and was knocked out cold.
Spectacular Falls.
Now this little baby didn't make a peep. It was the only night my parents got a full night's sleep. And that damn concussion was the first of my spectacular falls.
Spectacular Falls.
A few years later, my dad made up this fun little treat.
Spectacular Falls.
We'd jump off the refrigerator into his arms, so sweet.
Spectacular Falls.
Well, my sisters all loved it, didn't hurt a peep. But you weren't gonna find me jumping off no fridge, 'cause by the age of 3, I had a history of spectacular falls.
Spectacular Falls.
If you're born in November, your favorite season's bound to be fall.
Spectacular Falls.
And if you learn to skate, the first lesson will be just how to fall.
Spectacular Falls.
And if you're gonna fall, you might as well enjoy the ride. As you're heading down a manhole, think electric slide. And walking's just an organized method of spectacular falls.
Spectacular
to pieces. Spectacular Falls. Most people think a disabled bloke is so different from them, no joke. But it just takes a second, folks. It's just a banana peel away. A wise man tells me that he's okay. Got his limbs intact and all, but hey, things can happen most any day. He's just a banana peel away. You could choke at a hot dog stand. Great white shark could bite off your hand. Move into an old house thinking you'll restore her and turn out to be the Amputeeville horror. Like that time on Fifth Avenue, heading for the park and feeling groovy. Crutch fell into a manhole, truly just a banana peel away. Aced an audition for the Music Man. On the way out the door was jammed. Pushed and fell into a garbage can. You can't make this stuff up, folks. After a show, my fake leg propped up, sipping champagne from a paper cup. Learned my lesson, I should never linger. Leg slipped off the chair and broke my finger. You can run, but you cannot hide. Might as well throw away your pride. Just sit back and enjoy the ride. You're just a banana peel away. Then that time I was on a date. Had to go through the turnstiles, great. I get stuck and for the hat trick, I find out that I can even do a backflip. Think I'm accident prone, it's true. Doesn't mean it won't apply to you. The element of surprise breaks through. You're just a banana peel away. When I was entertaining my baby girl, was so happy, did a little twirl. Broke my toe on my crutch mid-whirl. You're just a banana peel away. August day, sidewalk dry and hot. Slipped on plastic, someone dropped and forgot. In front of Ripley's, believe it or not, I did not believe it. You can fall, but you will be okay. Miracles happen every day. Just remember these words I say. You're just a banana peel away. I'm something you don't see every day, but you're a banana peel away. That fall in front of Ripley's, believe it or not, broke my hand. So now I was down to 2 working limbs. So how do I keep upright? And what do I fall back on? This one phenomenal part of my anatomy keeps me vertical. This singular muscle. Rectus abdominis, heavy in song. Rectus abdominis, making me strong, for keeping me from falling and from giving me a hand. Rectus abdominis, helping me stand. Now they're gonna tell you some things that you just don't want to hear. Like, oh, it's such a shame that you're so talented, my dear. That's the moment you remember just exactly who you are. For someone who's unhireable, you've gotten very far when you put yourself out on the line and tend to give your all. You take the risk that often you might slam into a wall. I've the body of a fighter who's constantly at war. I get knocked down 100 times and rise 100 more. When you're someone slightly different, people say things to beware, like, why pursue a job where they don't want to have you there? There's a little piece of wisdom passed around from friend to friend. Says that which doesn't kill us makes us stronger in the end. There's a strength that's born of suffering that no doctor can reveal. When muscle pain and weakness comes from pills supposed to heal. I bash through all the weakness, although I don't feel strong. Instead of all the wreckage, I'm a fighter all along. Used to think I was a rag doll, being tossed against a wall. With a face so damn resilient, I'd keep smiling through it all. And just like in Japan, where they repair a crack with gold, it seems the part that's fixed turns out much stronger than the old. I've the body of a fighter. I'm that old kintsugi bowl. You can throw me down the stairs, but you cannot destroy my soul. My soul. My soul. My soul. I am whole. Thank you. And I wrote that. I made myself do that, I'm telling you. So, they say that a scab is like a Band-Aid that protects the healing going on under the surface. But I feel that real healing falls much deeper within us. So I fell and looked at my lovely hand, wondering how it could ever break. And the thought that I couldn't walk or stand was really more than I could take. When I asked my physical therapist if I should try to push or pull, she said the time it takes for a bone to heal is non-negotiable. So my friend was abandoned as a child, and years later she's hit a wall. She rants and raves and behaves so wild, she can't see how she's mean to all. And she chases off all the ones she loves, won't get help though she's miserable. It seems the time it takes for a heart to heal is non-negotiable. The soul gets battered along the way. The healing time's not for us say. So he'd lie there 24/7 with the dark thoughts racing through his head. And we couldn't imagine how anyone would never want to get out of bed. But he felt the pain of a dying man, with his body still young and full. I guess the time it takes for a mind to heal is non-negotiable. And the time it takes for a wound to heal is non-negotiable. Dear Mom, I went in for an MRI today, and I made a discovery. You know how when a baby bird falls out of the tree, the mama bird swoops down and saves it? But the next time the baby bird falls out of the tree, it flaps its wings and saves itself? Well, first I heard the birds. And then came frogs. And then they slide me into the tunnel, and it's like anvils slamming against my brain. But then there are horns. And Mom, this whole symphony was telling me that I was in here to save myself. Just like you taught me to do. You gave me life, you saved my life, and then you taught me to save my own life. You gave me life, you saved my life, and then you taught me to save my own life. You can give someone a fish, and they can eat for a day. But if you teach someone to fish, they'll eat forever. And like fish, you gave me life, you saved my life, and then you taught me to save my own life. You gave me life, you saved my life, and then you taught me to save my own life. When the doctors were stacked, 9 out of 10 were wrong. You wouldn't quit till you knew I could sing my song. And that's how you gave me, you saved me, you taught me to save my life. You gave me, you saved me, you taught me to save my life when I was on my own. Knocking again at death's door, I held my ground, and if I fell, I knew I could always count on the floor to catch me. Sonríe, estás viva. Cheer up, you're alive. I always wondered why you loved the color orange, but orange is sun, and sun gives life, and all of it is perfectly clear, 'cause that's how. Sonríe, estás viva. Cheer up, you're alive. You gave me life, you saved my life, and then you taught me to save my life. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba-da, ba-ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. You gave me life, and you saved my life, and you taught me to save my own life. One of the greatest gifts of amputation is becoming a mermaid. My love of swimming has taken me on tons of adventures. But it was Chicago that taught me that making a living as a one-legged performer was like swimming in a snowstorm. Snowfall. Swimming in a snowstorm over 20 years ago, touring in Chicago in winter, the snow. We laugh and dive and flip and race, a rise to snowflakes on our face. The water's warm, the air is bracing, and we're swimming in a snowstorm. Fast forward to the Goodman, up in a rehearsal hall. My keyboard and lahiri, playing a sitar of all things. It sings and darts around the room, banishing gloom. I feel my heart begin to zoom, just like swimming in a snowstorm. The chocolate air spices your hair. The wind just takes your breath away as it begins to snow. Swimming in a snowstorm, what a lovely way to be. The magic of the music, the water, the winter, the weather, the fire in me. So take my hand and jump right in. It doesn't matter if you swim. The air is cold, the water's warm, and we're swimming in a snowstorm. Chicago, the Goodman, lahiri. This year, 2022, September 22nd, is the first day of fall. You know what happens in the fall, right? Well, Walt Whitman pointed out that just as leaves can fall from a firmly grounded tree, so we can fall out of touch with who we are and those we love. I saw in Louisiana a live oak growing. All alone stood it, and the moss hung down from the branches, made me think of myself, made me think of myself. Without any companion, it grew there, uttering joyous leaves, and its look rude, unbending, lusty, made me think of myself, made me think of myself. Yet I wondered how that live oak there in Louisiana could utter joyous leaves, standing alone with no friend for I know I could not. I knew I could not, and I broke off a twig with some leaves upon it, moss twined around it. Away I brought it and placed it in sight in my room. It's not needed to remind me of my own dear friends. I'm thinking of them, little else than of them. It remains to me a curious token, makes me think of manly love, makes me think of human love. For all that, and though the live oak glistens there in Louisiana, solitary in a wide, flat space, uttering joyous leaves all its life, without a friend, a lover near. I know I could not. I know very well I could not. Leaves falling plus falling in love equals autumn in New York. Introduced in the fall, and I knew by the spring I'd run all over town to tell you just one thing. Now it seems absurd, but I'd hang on every word as you told me most anything you'd ever heard. And that kiss on Cornelia Street, autumn leaves at our feet, a chill in the air with heat. It felt like fire and ice. That kiss on Cornelia Street swept me right off my feet. Nothing by far so sweet this side of paradise. On a cold New Year's Eve, I would risk life and limb just to bring you some music that I wrote on a whim. And when summer arrived, we'd have lunch in the park. All the trees swayed in rhythm to the sound of a lark, and that kiss on Cornelia Street, autumn leaves at our feet, a chill in the air with heat. It felt like fire and ice. That kiss on Cornelia Street swept me right off my feet. Nothing by far so sweet this side of paradise. How could I know when it started to rain that I'd be the messenger to cause you pain. If I only knew then what I'd come to learn now, would life have been different for us both somehow? Though the years have gone by, autumn leaves all gone dry, there are moments in autumn when the wind seems to sigh, and I'm there once again, round the block, round the bend, right in front of the cafe where it had to end, with that kiss on Cornelia Street. Autumn leaves at our feet, a chill in the air with heat. It felt like fire and ice, that kiss on Cornelia Street swept me right off my feet. Nothing by far so sweet this side of paradise. Though it was bittersweet, it was like paradise. Falling in love is great, unless your love doesn't fall under what makes some people comfortable. Why should we fall out of favor just for falling in love? Love is love, a feeling you feel deep inside. Love is love, not a thing you should have to hide. We don't fall in love with a body, we fall in love with the soul. And most everything comes down to this: love is love. Love is love, when two hearts are joined with a smile. Love is love, when they share that love with a child. And it doesn't matter the gender, it matters most that you care. That's how children learn to respect that love is love. We're all angels for each other, and there's no need to fear. Can't tell what form we'll come here in, we just know that we're here. And love is love, not always the way that you planned. Love is love, when you feel someone understand. So though all of us may be different, the one thing that's always the same is the feeling nobody should miss. Love is love. And most everything comes down to this: love is love. So, whether it's falling in love or paying the rent, life can make you fall apart. And it is so easy to fall prey to those evil what-ifs. These are my anxieties, these are my fears, ominous sensations that build up for years. Visit me at 8 a.m. when I first wake. These are my anxieties making me quake. Like an anvil on my chest, heart heavy as a stone. And out of the deepest rest comes the dreaded what if drone. These are my anxieties, all doubts and fears, problems with my body and issues of brain, losses I've sustained and all sources of pain. Whether residue of dreams or truth I can't deny, what positivity outscreams, rest releases and let's fly. Perhaps it's better cleaning house, doffing sadness, let it go, then stay in this tightly buttoned blouse, letting secret cancers grow. Set him free to blow away, leaving room for lighter thought. Say goodnight and greet new day. The downside of being a Sagittarius is that you can fall from grace with a single word. Trouble is, you never get to see it coming. Say one word before it's heard. Step on landmines. You can't hide, no matter how you've tried, from those landmines. Even if you're kind, it's the way you're designed. You just say what's on your mind, and they go off again, no matter where or when. Bang! Landmines. It may be truth, but it's so uncouth. Landmines. And you really try to convince them you're shy, and you can't imagine why they chose you. When it matters the most, those you hoped wouldn't run disappear like a ghost, and one wonders what has one done that cannot be undone. done. It's no use, you know you're gonna blow those fuses, those landmines. Oh, friends forgive you, but not yourself for those landmines. And they'll call for years, and you'll retaste those tears, but they can't allay your fears. Ever stay in bed, cover up your head, hide from landmines. Oscar Pistorius, double amputee, Paralympic gold medal, world champion runner. It's no crime to be an international inspiration, but it is a crime to shoot your girlfriend. Well, it was early in the morning, about 3 a.m. I heard somebody shuffling around in the can. Stuck my hand under my pillow, pulled my six-shooter out, shot it right through the door, and I heard somebody shout, "No, no, no, never trust a crip with a gun, no matter how fast he can run. Remember that saying you'd been taught since birth, that the meek shall inherit the earth." Well, I still cannot believe it when I opened the door. I saw my gorgeous lady lying there on the floor in a pool of blood. It was a terrible sight. Now I'm the first damn cripple in the headlines tonight. No, 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 never trust a crip with a gun, no matter how fast he can run. Remember that saying you've been taught since birth, that the meek shall inherit the earth. I gotta run, 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 run. I gotta run, 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 run. Run, 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 run out of town. Now we all know the Crips are thought to be kinda odd, with strangers saying there but for the grace of God. I've been a brave inspiration and courageous and fun. Now I'm a mean mother runner and a son of a gun. No, 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 never trust a Crip with a gun, no matter how fast he can run. Remember that saying you've been taught since birth, that the meek shall inherit the earth. Now yesterday they told me I got out on bail, just a brief delay before I go off to jail. Those German judges wouldn't let me qualify. They better hide their asses, 'cause now they're gonna die. No, 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 never trust a Crip with a gun,
NRA,
no matter how fast he can run.
make my day.
Remember that saying you've been taught since birth, that the meek shall inherit the earth.
Superman.
That the meek shall inherit the earth.
Gunman.
That the meek shall inherit the earth. Anybody leave or anything? Everybody's still here. Good, very good. Well, okay, one of the most disturbing falls I ever witnessed was the one that I saw from my terrace on 9/11. Now, my daughter's 12th birthday was that 9/12. And at her birthday party, parents with PTSD were trying to think of things they couldn't quite put their finger on, things they just couldn't define. And now, as we see our world falling under dark influences, it's there again. It's always there. That something else. Mayors will preach and presidents say we must all move on. If we go about our business, we will show that we are strong. If one repeats it long enough, we get anesthetized, a reality we've not realized. There's something else that drills into our brain every day. There's something else that sits upon our hearts. There's something else that keeps us from remembering our name. We're not tired. It's the something else. Looking for peace, we find that we're already drowned in war. And the force is so relentless, we can't argue anymore. We keep our appointments, shop for food. The kids come home from school, but their faces tell us something isn't cool. There's something else intruding on our everyday lives. There's something else that we cannot escape. There's something else that makes the tears come easily at night. Tell your children it's something else. There's a wound, there's a gaping wound that's smoking in our midst. And for every soul that's buried there, 1,000,000 hearts are broken. Searching for hope and finding none, we tell ourselves, be brave. If our voices rise together, that our leaders might behave. Keep writing letters, stand your ground, and let your voice be heard. In the end, our greatest weapon is the word. There's something else that's carried in the air that we breathe. There's something else that echoes in the wind. There's something else that tells us that we can't go home again. Home is lost in the something else. But we'll find ourselves in that something else. Things I hear as a performer with a disability. It's box office. Without a star, the movie wouldn't ever have been made. Well, at least he played the role with dignity. She encouraged tolerance and understanding. Oh, so the acting craft is dead? I don't get to play Richard III because I don't limp? Such is the fallout of centuries of discrimination. In all things, we don't want to fall out with our friends, but neither should we have to fall for, well, let me put it this way. A world-famous athlete helps kids go to school, while a world leader locks kids in a cage. One will be remembered as cool, the other dismissed for not acting his age. Don't fall for crap. The Pope says it's wrong to put people to death, while so many priests just abuse and molest. Moral authority, please save your breath. Hypocrisy won't pass the honesty test. Don't fall for crap. A dancer I knew said that losing her man was certainly far worse than losing my limb. But 5 years later, she's married again, and I don't see any new leg growing in. Don't fall for crap. When the night falls, lightning is bright, breaking the walls, bringing the light. Old Trumpty Drumpty was fixed on a wall, but old Trumpty Drumpty is fated to fall. All the supremacists and Nazi white men will never put Trumpty together again. And all of the leaders who've made us stand tall showed us the good will rise up to the top. History proves that the bad guys will fall, and sooner or later the nightmare will stop. If we stand for light, if we stand for love, if we stand for truth. At our borders, children have been falling through the cracks. So, some children I know were inspired by their ancestors, many of whom were their age when they crossed our borders, to find a better way to live.
I was only 3 years old when my family seized the day. We took all we had and walked a long, long way. Then we climbed aboard a ship and we sailed across the sea. And when they set me on the rail, I saw the Lady Liberty.
Share the world, share the world, share the world. We can share the world. A helping hand can make the change and help us share the world. Mama put me on a train with other kids a lot like me. Said we'd all be safer in a land that's free. This new country was my home. My new family was mine. And though I learned the language, made new friends, I felt I left my soul behind. Share the world, share the world, share the world. We can share the world. A helping hand can make the change and help us share the world. Welcome, Willkommen.
Bienvenue. Uvitani.
Tervetuloa. Welcome.
Baruch haba.
Fogatotash.
G'day mate.
Politania. Ubuntu. Tafautorot.
Seid gebencht.
Estavam próximo.
Bienvenidos. Willkommen.
Svike Alvike.
Bine ați venit.
Dobre pожаловать. Welcome. Grandma came here on a boat. Great grandma came here on a plane. Each one had to leave their home, escape the pain. Soaring across the sky, surging across the sea, to a land of opportunity, which was their gift to me. Share the world, share the world, share the world. We can share the world. A helping hand can make the change and help us share the world. When you're trying to find your way, looking for a place to stay, a helping hand can make the change and help us share the world.
The lifeline on my right hand is a roadmap of my life, full of wrong turns and obstacles, falling down, getting up again. And after I broke this hand, the clever surgeon connected the incision to my lifeline, and now I have to live to be 150. But the gift inside that broken hand was how everything just seemed to fall into place. Wake up Monday morning, can't get out of bed. Got these 7 words that keep on running through my head, and they will not quit their running until they hear me say, I'm gonna make it through this day. I refuse to listen, I push them all aside. I've got things to do today, so you can take a ride. But the words keep on repeating until they make me say, I'm gonna make it through this day. I don't know what the voice is or why it intervenes. 7 hours later, I will know just what it means, and I can't figure out who's telling me. And yet they seem to say, you're going to go through something, but you will be okay. And it seems something will play out the way they have it planned. 7 hours later, I'll stare at a broken hand. But for now, I try some stretches, focus on my breath. Still I'm horizontal as if this were life and death. And if I was on Facebook, I guess that it would be IGMITTD. They're giving me a reason to stay at home and hide. I, of course, cannot resist, and so I go outside, and then I make it back from Brooklyn, thinking I was right. Got up and down the subway stairs without even a fight, and that's the moment that it happened, and why I had to say, I'm gonna make it through this day. I'm lying on the pavement when suddenly I see the first of 7 angels who'd appear to rescue me. And if it all just seemed to happen according to some plan, maybe when I'm older I will finally understand that regardless of the circumstance, we all should learn to say, I'm gonna make it through this day. Whatever happens, it will be okay. We're gonna make it through Thank you so very much. You didn't think I would have two pianos on the stage for nothing, right? My newly married daughter worries that soon there won't be a world to bring children into. My generation sang a woeful ballad called "Is There Any Hope for Tomorrow?" and worried about the same thing. Before he died, my father wrote some words on paper which embrace his philosophy that it falls to us to make a better world for those yet to come. The future falls to us. And I dedicate this song to everyone who takes that seriously. Who is my father to me? I'm looking back 46 years and I see a man in the wings I still see today, who gave others their wings and showed them how to fly. He said, beyond the welfare of family and friends, beyond the welfare of family and friends, he said, beyond the welfare of family and friends, it is the work we do for those yet to come that really matters. How do you measure a man? Do you chart him by inches or size of a shoe? Or things he says or what he will do to make the world a better place for you and me? He said, beyond the welfare of family and friends, beyond the welfare of family and friends, he said, beyond the welfare of family and friends, it is the work we do for those yet to come that lasts forever. Whether it's picnics or looking at art, music and laughter will stay in our hearts. Sharing it all with our children to come links us from one generation to another. So, why are we gathered today as we celebrate lives that were here in the past, building something we hope that will last, so that the music will live on long after we are gone? Because beyond the welfare of family and friends, beyond the welfare of family and friends, beyond the welfare of family and friends, it is the work we do for those yet to come that really matters, that lasts forever. And the enhancement of those lives yet to come must be the real object of life. Thank you so very much. Thank you.